All right, so before I jump into my 11 slides, hopefully we'll try to finish it by the time allotted to me. A little small story that I want to share with you. Earlier this year, a few weeks ago, a famous online retailer, global retailer, the IT help desk got a call from an employee. And the call was requesting for help to reset their password into the online retailer system. The IT help desk was powered by a third-party vendor, as is the case with large organizations. They've been together for about 10 years, the vendor. This is a very large IT firm, and unfortunately for us, all of us here in the room, the vendor was a large Indian company. And what we do, we are helpful, very helpful, right? So, especially this caller was speaking with a very British clipped English, so they helped this person reset their password over the phone, which cybersecurity enthusiasts and experts will tell you is the biggest problem in life. Never do it. What was the result of this very helpful action of an empathetic IT support help desk person? 300 million pounds, 300 million pounds, let that sink in. That's a lot of money. The online retailer, the online store and brick and mortar stores were down for a month. The projected loss over the next few months is 1 million pounds. They're investigating. And many of you have known, by the smiles on some of your faces, I think you know who the online retailer was. I'm sure many of you have purchased clothes from them as well. They're here in India. It's Marks and Spencer. And this happened a month ago. And now it is public that the third-party vendor, by circumstantial evidences, Tata Consulting Services. TCS is number 1 in UK. If you look at the list of all support services outsourcing organizations in the UK, TCS is number 1. Does it mean Marks and Spencer did not have adequate cybersecurity? Did they not have insurance? No, they had everything. They had ISO 27001, PCI DSS, SOC 2, third-party risk management, everything. What went wrong? It's just a con job. That's all it was. The service employee was conned, good old-fashioned like Ocean's 11, 12, or 13, or any of those movies that you see. Easy to con people. People are the biggest risk in cybersecurity. DBIR stands for Data Breach Investigations Report. Verizon produces that every year. They've been doing it for the last 18 years. They look at all the known and confirmed breaches. 30,000 known breaches, out of which 20,000 was confirmed by the organization that was breached. 74% of that was caused by human error. 3/4 of all breaches are not because of a lack of technology, lack of process, or a lack of policies. It's because humans are fallible. We are all prone to making errors. At the end of the day, human error. What can you do? Why do attackers target humans? We were talking about it in the morning as well. Because it's easy. Hacking a computer, hacking a firewall, hacking all your expensive EDRs, MXDRs is tough. It requires a lot of effort. You need a big force of hackers. Not that it's not possible, but the easiest in the whole ecosystem is the humans. As they say in many situations, and it's true of cybersecurity as well, you're only as strong as your weakest link. I don't know if you remember, there was this show on TV called The Weakest Link when I was a kid. That person was so ruthless. He would just say, you're the weakest link, and kick the person out. So the weakest link in information security today is humans, all of us. And this is very overlooked. I did not do this. Sorry, accidentally. So a lot of things can go wrong. One single click from a phishing email, or you have your password, which is a combination of your name, your birth date, your wife's name, your spouse's name, your husband's name, your child's name, your card number, which is all how you remember passwords, right? You will not remember a random 24-letter password which is absolutely gibberish. So most people will say, yeah, you know what, I should do that. I should keep something which is memorable, but I will make special characters appear in it. I'll replace all A's with at symbol, I'll replace all I's with exclamation mark, T with plus. It's easy for me to remember, and it's not the same, but a hacker will take less than a minute to crack that password by brute force. Not even doing it manually, running it through brute force algorithms. Ted Schlein, he is a very well-known person in the cybersecurity world. He was at Symantec back in 1996 when Cbrain was just making its first round, the virus. And now he runs VC firm Kleiner Partners. And he says there are only two types of companies in the world. When it comes to companies, there are just two types. One is the company that knows, that has been breached and knows it. As in, it has enough knowledge that there has been a breach. And then there are companies that don't know it. The goal for most companies should be to stay in the first sector, not the latter. If you have been breached and you don't know it, you're opening up a bigger can of worms. What are the tactics? Let's look at quickly. What are the tactics? What is the goal of all these hacking humans, hacking all of us, right? All of us know about phishing. I think it's part of everybody's cyber awareness training program. Once a year, right? Everybody attends it in their organization if they have the need, they have compliance. Phishing is an email that comes to you which looks very authentic and forces you, or rather, not forces you, but kind of tricks you into giving out credentials or other important information. Spear phishing is a specialized form of phishing. Real con artists, like, again, my favorite con movie is Ocean's 11. Okay, they con people and they don't even know they have been conned. So they look at you. LinkedIn is a famous source of data, corporate data. They'll find you. They'll find your boss. They'll find your boss's boss, all the way up to the CEO. Then they'll switch tactics, go to Facebook, go to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the other platforms where you are posting happily that you have been visiting this country or buying this item or things like that. And they'll start putting things together and build a very credible story. That's spear phishing. At the end of it, they will send you an email which is so convincing you will think your boss sent it to you. Right. If your boss is out of town, they will say, I'm out of town. I'm in Thailand. I don't have access to my credit cards. Can you buy this and send me the data? You know your boss is in Thailand. You know he's out there with his family. It's easy for you to say, yeah, must be true. That's spear phishing. Then we have phishing. You get an e-call. It's a voice-based phishing. You get a call supposedly from somebody in authority or somebody in trouble. Of late, this digital arrest has been very common. Now it is a person calling you from customs or the cops who say that you are in violation of the law. And then you end up giving money or credentials, and end of it, long story short, you are the loser. Smishing is SMS phishing. SMS, WhatsApp, Telegram, it's not far. It was just waiting to happen. After your email, after your voice, that's the next one. Pretexting. It's not pre-texting, it's pretexting. The pretext is when you pretend to be someone else. And pretexting also includes deepfake video calls, deepfake Zoom calls. I'll come to it in a bit. Essentially, pretending to be someone who you trust and give out information. And then baiting, good old baiting. You enter your office, you see somebody who looks like you're calling because he's wearing the same lanyard, you can't see the ID, because he's got a big bag or a couple of bags, he can't access the biometric. He's got bags full of gifts, drinks and soft drinks and cake or pizzas. And he's standing by the door and saying, hey, can you help me get it? I'm carrying pizza for my team. Naturally, you would say, looks like a genuine guy. He's wearing the lanyard. You don't ask him, show me your ID card, or I'll hold the pizza, you open the door. You don't do that. Ajao, yeah, chalo. After all, he's treating one of your colleagues or some of your colleagues. That's baiting. He's baiting, and he is tailgating. Every organization has a no tailgating policy, but honestly, look back, think about how many times you have been tailgated. Even if it's your colleague, even if it's your best friend, tailgating policy is there for a reason. Right? But people ignore it. Humans are fallible. Humans are nice. The goal is basically to deceive people into revealing something important. And their biggest goal is business email compromise. They don't care about your personal stuff yet, unless you're a HNI or a VHNI. At this point of time, they're still targeting your company. They want to compromise your business email. Once they compromise your email or your login or credentials, it takes them less than 32 minutes. If a worm gets into your network, it takes 32 minutes to traverse the entire network and affect pretty much every point. Why do people fall for it? Right? Why do we all say, all those tactics, why do they succeed? Because first, authority. There's a person of authority, the CEO, the CFO. In one case, the CFO was scammed because the CEO and a bunch of other board members were on it. Again, authority. Then, out of the goodness of your heart, you want to help your friends. You want to help your colleagues. You don't want to be that person who's like, I'm not going to help at work. Right? Then you have the act now, or urgency. The CEO from Thailand will say, I need this thing in the next 1 hour. That's urgency. And the CEO. So, combination of urgency and fear. You will fall for it. Curiosity and greed is probably the biggest for most people at the individual level. What can potentially happen? Let's assume you're going out of your office. You're walking out of the conference room and you see a small USB drive on the floor. And it's labeled Q4 plan or a Q4 sales plan. Assume you're in a sales team, Q4 targets. As a salesperson, you're in Q3 and you want to see Q4 targets. Either you will pick it up and say, I want to know what my target is. for the next quarter, and you'll plug that thing in your computer. If you don't have strong USB policies, then, well, you've just installed a malware. Or, if you're a much more ethical person, you'll say, I need to make sure that this reaches the right person. And you're going to give it to your manager, who will then say, I have not seen this before. What is going on? In it goes. So it's easy. You can just, curiosity and greed can go on and on. And then the last one is very common. We were talking about it in the morning. None of us look at the privacy policy or the cookie policy before we say accept all. Accept on your phone, on the website. Have it. It's from Microsoft. It's got to be useful. It's from Google. They can't cause harm. Or ChatGPT. They are well known. Your habit and overload is what a bigger problem is. People need to be aware, need to be skeptical. Another thing is insider threats. This case in point. How many of you here have heard about Kirana Pro? Anybody? Kirana Pro? So, you have Zepto, you have got, you heard of Kirana Pro. So, you have Zepto, you've got all the other quick commerce guys. And Kirana Pro is a pretty old one, it's not new. What they were trying to do was to create a marketplace for your local Kirana stores to be able to supply to you, so you don't have to buy from Amazon. So they're doing a win-win-win, right? So you are getting it from somebody you know and trust, your local Kirana, probably for a lower cost than buying it if you went there in person, or saving time. The Kirana store guy is able to sell more because he's now on a platform, and there is a commission involved which the company takes. Less than a week ago, Kirana Pro went offline. The investigation, the forensic investigation revealed that an employee was disgruntled. And if you are a Linux person, you will know what RM minus RF does at the root directory, which is what he did. RM minus RF at the root is remove, delete everything at the root. He went to the root folder, the home folder of the Linux server, deleted everything. Then he went into before that he went into the database and said, drop databases all. F, force. Boom, Kirana Pro is dead. No database, no file system, nothing. They are still down, by the way. They figured out it was the employee who was disgruntled, and they have a case going on, but you know how cases go on in India, it never takes off. Probably for the next few years. That guy was happy because he was pissed off and he got back at the company. That's an insider threat. More challenging than insider threats is the second part, inadvertent errors. You might have seen, or when you get an email with 25 email addresses, the first instinct is reply all, right? I have personally received emails from, not many people, but I have a list of all the co-customers of a particular bank. I am part of this team, this relationship managers team. He has sent out a blast email with a list of pretty much everybody who is his customer. I've got that email from GST department. I've got a list of emails of about 250 companies who are registered in the GST of my circle of the GST, the company name, the email address, saying that there is something wrong. Inadvertent, it was not intended, they made a mistake, but they're exposing data accidentally, misdelivery. I'm Venkat, so is somebody else. So this person is in a hurry typing out an email to Venkat, so coming to Venkat Ramudi, it goes to Venkat Ramudi. Sensitive data is gone. to a person who is not supposed to get it. Misdelivery. According to DBIR, about half of the data that was sent out was misdelivery, accidental, not really intentional. You can patch your laptops, you can patch your antivirus, you can patch your browsers. They all get release updates. How are you going to patch humans? What is the solution to patch humans? Lack of awareness. Lack of awareness is your biggest problem. The government sends PSAs. You call somebody, you get a 30-second call, talk by Amitabh Bachchan or some famous person telling you to ignore it if there is somebody tells you you're under digital arrest, call 1930, don't fall for WhatsApp scams. Makes no difference. People still fall for it almost every day. Let's look at a few case studies. The first one is Twitter, when it was still called Twitter. They did the same thing that happened at MNS. They called Twitter support staff. Teenagers, just for kicks. They did not do it. It was not an organized hacker group or collective. Teenagers just called Twitter support and convinced them to give away credentials. They then logged in and accessed 130 high-profile accounts, personal and corporate. Barack Obama, Apple, Elon Musk, all of them. And then somebody took one step further. They created a cyber, digital currency scam using Elon Musk's name and siphoned off money. The teen hackers did not use any fancy tools. They did not have all this fancy software that's guessing passwords and usernames. They just took advantage of humans, conned them. Humans are easy to con, as is evident from all the movies and stories that you read. And these three breaches, other than Kirana Pro, Marks and Spencer, we already spoke about it. Adidas was breached about a month ago, 2 weeks after Marks and Spencer. Many of them may not be out in the open, but if you look for it, you will find it. They was breached. Again, if you look at it, third-party breach is a very common issue. You, as an organization, trust a few third parties for various reasons. One that is not here is a little older. I don't know why it's moving so. Target in the US was hacked through their HVAC vendor, the AC vendor. The HVAC vendor had poor security practices. They connected to Target through the HVAC vendor, took over all their POS machines. Target's POS machines across the US was taken over. They stole 4 million credit cards of customers. Target almost went bankrupt as a result of that. Third party, pure human. Essentially, all of them are caused by humans. None of them was some crazy zero-day exploit that happened. For those of you who don't know what a zero-day exploit is, your viruses and antiviruses work this way. You have a virus, it's got a signature, a predictable pattern in the code, and an antivirus looks for that predictable pattern, matches it. It's pattern matching. Or a vulnerability is known because when you say, okay, this port is open, or this software can do this harm, that's a known vulnerability. A zero-day vulnerability is, it is hitherto unknown. It's in the wild. Before the manufacturer or the software developer has a chance to fix it, the hackers find it. Before the manufacturer or software developer knows, the hackers exploit it. That is a zero-day exploit. Comes out of the blue, it just blasts. Or it's a bolt out of the blue, there's nothing anybody can do. So none of that was involved in these hacks, or in Target, or in Kirana Pro, all caused by humans. And that's the biggest problem today. Before we go on to the next slide, just wanted to hear this. I thought there would not be an ad. Sorry. Leave it. Ignore this ad, please. On my computer, I had no ad. It went straight to me.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. It's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between.
Okay, I know where it's going, and I think you cut me off because I'm out of time, but I'm running short of time. So, our roof in 2024 had a breach just like that. It was a Zoom call. The CEO, the CFO, and a whole bunch of others were on the Zoom call, and this gentleman transferred 200 million Hong Kong dollars, I think that's a number. Let me just double check that number. Yeah, 200 million Hong Kong dollars, that's about 20 million pounds. Because why did he do it? The CEO is there, the whole board is there, the CXO suite is there. He said, yeah, fair enough, I'll send the money. And what was happening was something like how Mr. Barack Obama said a lot of things he would never ever say. Pardon the language, but I think he should ask for it. But that's what happened. Why did it move? I'm sorry. Guys, please stop moving the screen. Thank you. Don't. WPP is a very world famous advertising company. The CEO was Mark Reed. He got a call using his own voice, trying to scam him. Okay, mistake on the part of the hackers, but thankfully he thwarted it because he immediately messaged everybody saying, there is a scam going on, somebody calling you sounding like me is not me. You know, that was so funny. I was talking about Worm GPT and Fraud GPT. These have been around for a while. 2022, if you look at the graph, it's funny, but the graph numbers are true, is when it took off. AI generated fraud perpetration. 2022. You know what else happened in 2022? Anybody? No? ChatGPT went live. That's what happened. Generative AI went live in 2022. That's when generative AI-based cyber attacks increased dramatically, 130% increase, according to McKinsey. And, well, not to outdo them, nation-state actors like Iran, China, Russia, North Korea are using the technology that's available freely to the world. Why Operation Sindoor? I think DSC and a bunch of other sent out warning messages that Pakistan-based cyber attacks are on the rise during Operation Sindoor. Right? So there's a lot of things going on, and it's all human based. It's got nothing to do with technology at all. How do you fix it? So I've scared all of you enough. And this is what happened last time when I spoke about this in Bangalore. I didn't have enough time, and I couldn't get you into the slide. And people were questioning me, you are just doomsday prophet, you're fear mongering. I'm not. I'm trying to solve it. How do you strengthen the human firewall? Because we are all firewalls. We can be firewalls if we are trained. Humans are very adaptable. So you need to have frequent engaging security awareness training. What happens if your company how many of you are compliant with some sort of ISO or SOC 2? Show of hands, please. Right, so a lot. What does your ISO policy say? It says once a year we will have security awareness training for all employees, 1 hour. We'll talk about everything. How many of the people who attend the training actually pay attention to the 1 hour? Humans have a very short attention span, and it's becoming shorter because of TikTok, YouTube Reels, Instagram Reels, right? People want everything instant. I want instant gratification. I'm not waiting 1 hour to understand this. Tell me in 2 seconds, 2 minutes. So you need micro training. You need short, constant training. Why does the government send you those PSAs on your phone? Because they're training you constantly. It's 30 seconds, 20 seconds. It keeps that information fresh in your mind. That's what you need. You don't need a 1 hour long training. And trust me, I have seen enough organizations, I'm in the CISO of a few organizations where I know that during the training, people are working. Training's on one screen, they're working on the other. Let it happen. Okay, there's a quiz? Sure. Hey, what's the answer for question 4, man? You know? Come on, we are good at jugaad. Humans are good at jugaad and cheating, and of course we will do it. You have a easy way to do it. You want compliance, you want numbers na? Ho gaya na? 70% aa gaya, bhi chodo. Have to work. So, and then you have to have simulated phishing. Phishing is so easy. You can now simulate phishing, right? So, I as a policy will not pitch when I talk at all. So you can do simulated phishing and social engineering drills. All of you have BCP drills, DR drills. Anybody is doing anything about social engineering drills or phishing drills? No. No organization is focusing on it. This is the core of human risk management. Humans are the biggest risk. Organizations are paying zero attention to it. You have policies within your organization. Do you have verification policy? How many of you have a verification policy in your organization? No? Okay. What is the verification policy, you ask? Irrespective of what happens, if a person has to divulge sensitive information or send a large sum of money, you should verify. Trust but verify. Even the CEO sends you an email, you should have a policy where this person calls the CEO or someone to make sure that that transaction is actually real. Verification. Doesn't happen. Most companies don't know about it, don't have it, but it will help. Today, if you complain, you are looked down as a complainer, a problem maker, but you should start rewarding employees who are skeptical, who are trusting but verifying. Create a culture where people are security first. People question, if you want me to do this, tell me why. Because the policies that all of you write, leaders, you know the rationale, you know why you have written the policy. Your CISO knows, your CEO knows, but what about the people who are actually working on the policy? Do they understand the impact the policy has on either the positivity or the negativity if it is not followed? You need to communicate that. You need to reward them. Of course, all the other standard stuff, fair, least privilege, separation of duties, blah, blah, blah. But the last one is important. You need to have some way of monitoring insider threats, end user behavior analysis. You need to be able to analyze the behavior of your users. Today, most organizations don't care about it. Analysis is not just, does he have his password reset? Does he have an MFA? That's not analysis. How is he responding to simulated phishing? How is he responding to drills? How is he responding to training? You need to understand more than just what they have done on the technology side. Just a couple more slides and I'm done. Thank you, Pankaj, for giving me extra time. The tech alone cannot solve. Humans are needed for the triad, and the triad is people, process, technology. You all have great technology, EDRs, NDR, MXDRs, firewalls. You all have great process and policy. If you want to make sure it works, make sure humans are also in the picture. You include them. Humans are adaptable. They can become your strongest defense if you get them to adapt to what you want them to do. Somebody I met was working for a facilities management company, and just today. So I was saying, security is everyone's responsibility, right from the janitor, not just the intern, right from the janitor, who's your cleaning staff. He comes, he sees important documents, he has to let someone know that somebody left important documents outside. Because a user could have forgotten it or directly left it at home. It should be everybody's responsibility. Stay safe, stay skeptical, question everything, trust but verify. This is the last two sentences. Cybersecurity is not about technology, it's all about people. People are the core, and people think human-centric security is optional. Not today. It's essential. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I took extra time. If you have questions for me, I think we should do it. Do we have time? Oh, great. We finished early. I am happy to answer the questions you might have.
You were talking about how we accept